Yo, what up, boys? Coming to you today with some really big news. We have a huge update going to the test server. I want to kind of go over it with you guys and give you guys some of my initial thoughts here regarding this. So let's talk about it first. They're going to make some major changes here to the flare gun. They're going to make this some big quality of life improvements. They've also added a new SMG here, which is going to be our MP5K to Vikendi. The big announcement here is that they're changing the loot finally to Erangel. So hopefully we're going to start being able to see what these changes are going to do, and I really hope they take some feedback from the community here before they just push this to live. They are also putting a huge buff on the M16A4. It is just going to be such a stronger weapon. I've done a little bit of the initial reading here. Let's kind of go over this, and we'll talk through all the changes together, and I'll kind of give you guys my thoughts and opinions. So the new weapon on the MP5K, it's going to obviously be a brand new submachine gun. So it's high rate of fire at 900 RPM. So the base damage value of 33 is going to put it in line, I really feel like, with somewhere in between your Bison Vector range. I really think you're going to see something around there with that. This is going to be a really solid gun. I really think so with Vikendi. Vikendi is going to be so strong with SMGs as is. They're obviously going to be introducing a new wild card here. Survivor Pass titled the Wild Card. I wasn't really thrilled with the first one. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I really did not like the first or second Survivor Pass. I really felt like the missions were kind of, the ones that really bothered me, the drive boats for X amount of kilometers. I mean, they were unrealistic numbers. Drive a Murado for 2 hours. I mean, it just, with the queue times we get on Miramar, that could be a whole day that you literally spend trying to beat that mission. So hopefully we'll see some improved mission features. I do like the fact that they have mission status tracking now displayed in live game. That's a huge buff for me. I was really, really positive to see something like that come out. So the new title season obviously is going to come through here. Now gameplay. So here's the big ones, boys. Look at this. M16, when first using burst mode, the initial recoil has been decreased. Not really concerned about that. That's whatever. I always felt like burst was kind of, nah. But this is the kicker for me. The increased the range before damage falls off occurs. So that's going to be huge, I truly think. Just due to the simple fact that, we used to have, the meta used to be like M4, M16 with an 8X, M4 as your red dot full auto. Like that was a great meta for a long time. Then it went to M4, just double M4 running around, one with the red dot, one with the 4X. Now with the Canada side, we don't have to do that. But this brings in that the M16, especially with the drop off of spawn rates that they've put with DMRs on Vikendi and Sandhawk and other maps, this is going to bring the M16 into a new function that it actually does have a hopeful ability to deal with that, especially with this tactical stock they're adding to it. So you can now add the cannon sights and the tactical, which one decreases recoil recovery time. I really think that's going to look like the initial Mini was. I don't know if you guys remember when the Mini first came out. The Mini was just unbelievable. You could put an 8X on it, and it would literally, you could just pop people from forever, over and over. It was just like tap, 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 tap. People just dying left and right. So hopefully it's not like that. I'm hoping it's a little bit more balanced, but we'll see. So let's go into the Vector. It's been rechambered to use 9mm. Interesting. I don't know if that's standard for what it uses in real life. It bumped up to 19 bullets with an extended mag of 33. I really think that's solid. I always hated finding the Vector early game with 13 rounds. It was just game changing to find that extended mag on that. They're going to decrease the damage though from 34 to 31. I don't think that matters at all. The Vector is going to shoot fast enough that it doesn't matter whether it does 34, 15, 2. You shoot that many bullets that quickly into somebody, they're going to die. It is a great, probably one of the greatest SMGs for up close. So the UMP is changing to use 45 ammo. I'm not sure if that's what it uses in real life or not. 25 bullets by default, 35 with an extended mag. I think that's not going to make a huge difference with the UMP, but I think it's going to be solid. Now this is interesting though. The MK47 Mutant now has the ability to attach a tactical stock. I already thought the gun was broken. Like it's a great, like I said about the M16, it's a great gun for that second round. You don't find a DMR, right? Like you obviously, I don't think it's a great gun for up close and personal, but you don't have a DMR, you have a good scope, maybe you're running an SMG, it's the only AR you found, you've got a 6X or a 4 or even a 3, you want to be able to do some long range. That is going to help with that, I think, tremendously. So the SMG and pistol attachments have been combined and can now be used on both weapons, so that's interesting. Bullet loops for shotguns, wind, and carbine combined into one item called ammo loop, so that's interesting because we always had no reason whatsoever for all the shotgun loops. Hollow sights can now be attached to pistols. I think that's a great change. I don't know why that wasn't an initial thing. This is really going to be huge. Increased SR body damage from 110% of base damage to 150. That 100% means a will now one-shot a level 2 vest. Woo! I'm pumped. Like, that is a great change. You're going to make a gun have to be so, like, sought after that there's no reason it shouldn't be worth that. Like, if you shoot somebody with an AWM in the body, that, like, you have to fight for this weapon. It should give you an instant knock. I don't have any problem with that whatsoever. That's a great change. The SMG limb damage from 120 to 125. I mean, whatever. It's fine. This is going to be interesting. Decrease the overall aim punch when applied when being shot by an enemy. I love this. I've always been a pain in the ass with aim punch. It's so frustrating. That's going to be really nice. This is interesting though. First aid kits will no longer heal instantly after use timer and will instead restore health over a 2-second period. So now it's going to work like bandages. So you're literally going to pop a first aid and it's going to heal you up over 2 seconds. So my question is does this mean you're going to heal all the way up to that 75% like it normally does? Or is it going to be like bandies where we're going to start seeing first aid kits only do 50% life? So that'll be interesting to see what it says or see what this change is going to do. Vehicles now block players from receiving grenade damage with similar mechanism used for other objects. Although depending on grade position trajectory, damage can still be dealt to players hiding behind vehicles. I don't mind this. I do think if you're on the other side of a vehicle, a grenade should block damage a little bit. Obviously, if you're standing right next to it, I think that it should push the vehicle into you and you should die. Let's just be common sense here, bud. All right, here it is, boys. Item spawn balance modification. Increase the spawn of AR, DMR, LMGs, and SMGs. Boop. This will improve the pickup rate of sought-after weapons total combined increase of around 41%. Boop. Due to the item changes past, including merges some attachments together, there's naturally a gap left in spawns which need to be filled with other items. Because of this, we have increased the spawn rate of other items evenly. This will result in a small increase in spawns of high priority such as AR and meds. Boop. This also means the overall loot for other maps has also increased slightly, although no change has been made to individual item spawn ratios on other maps. Boop. Listen, you want to give every single person, I've said this from the get-go, every single person drops in, they get base like level 1 base kit, and then they drop in with like a base gun. That would be fun to me. But I'm cool with this. This will make it fun. There's nothing like running through Erangel, going through 6 buildings, finding a 1911 and shotgun bullet loops, while this dude over here has got a Scar L AK-47. His teammates got a SLR and a crossbow, and then you literally are just running around with a 1911 for the entire rest of the game. Flare gun balances. We've seen a lot of play UI. So many players felt the icons on the screen related to Pharaohs did not match the style of PUBG as a realistic battle royale experience. We have agreed and removed them. So I'm a little torn on this. The icon on the mini map was nice to bring fights, but I also agree that big giant ass red glowing ember in the sky does enough. The one thing I'll say that I wish they would do, which we're going to talk about in the next one, as a result, there are many more planes flying overhead. They're going to do a sound adjustment. That's cool, but that's not what I really wanted. I wanted to have the sound of the flare gun. And all of you guys know what I'm talking about. You have a guy that pops a flare gun 10 meters, or you guys have a guy that pops a flare gun and he's 9 miles away. You don't really tell the difference. It's 100% the same sound. There's no change whatsoever. So I'd like to see them make an adjustment to have this sound come in game over top of where the flare is and make it appropriate. It doesn't need to be an alerting sound for every single person that sounds as if the flare gun was shot off right beside them. So I'm a little bothered by that. Because I legit, we were in Hot 10 the other day. I thought a flare gun popped up. I was like, oh boys, that's close. Turned around, like looked up at the sky, didn't see a flare anywhere, clicked M, and it was on Quarry. Like Quarry. That's the other side of the map. So that is cool though. So they're going to reduce it to an average of 3 flare guns per game for all maps. That's cool. Care package contents, 1 set. Okay, so yeah, I don't have a problem with this either. I like this. So reducing this from 2 sets to 1 set is solid for me. My big kicker about doing that was I really wanted to see flare guns be useful, but only to a certain extent. Like, don't make it where flare guns are just completely overpowered. Let's make it where flare guns bring in one set for squads, and that's all it needs to be. Make flare guns basically say, hey, I get a crate right where I want it. Don't be like, hey, I get a crate and me and my whole squad are going to be rolling around in crate gear. Let's just do one set, make other teams come fight us, because then it becomes strategy, right? You can pick where you want to fight for a crate. You can put a crate on the north side of the map, and then you can strategically position 2 people to see anyone coming into that area as you go to loot it. That I'm cool with. Perfectly fine with that. That's a solid one from PUBG. So let's say movement, wrestling sound, weapons. When equipment in your hands are visible, holster in your back. Okay, that's fine. This is fine. It's pretty cool. Oh, that's cool. So they've added some stuff for the face it stuff. So here's a UI overhaul. Textures. Okay, so I mean that's cool. They're working on the system menu. Okay. I like this. This is huge. The added individual teammate adjustment. So that's solid. That's a really good play there. I like that a lot. High detail. What we got here? Added a new crosshair when using cannon size to help player easily identify which scope they have equipped. Ah, okay. That's cool. Oh, okay, cool. So when you're walking around and you're not ADS, you can now tell based off of what. Okay, I mean, most people should know that anyways. But hey, I'm cool with it. Replay system. Highlights of our as follows: knocked, killed. Okay, that's kind of cool. So it kind of highlights your game. That's interesting. Skins and items. Oh, we got a 2nd anniversary cap. That's cool. Got some more skins coming out. They removed the default preset. I'm gonna say this. Localization. Irish language. Hey, I can support that. Any big issues here? Past walls, abuse. This is huge. I like this. I also like the fact, because I hope this is going to cover whenever you're knocked. If you're up close to a wall, you can see through it. You can make calls for your teammates. I think that'd be nice. Players able to close doors. That's important. Briefly through a wall when leaning. Yep, that's the same concept I was talking about. You could like lean in, or while you're knocked, you can see through it. Okay, fixed an issue where the smoke coming from a grenade explosion outlines players inside the smoke. I mean, yeah, that's a big deal as well. Unable to lean while standing on a crossbow. I didn't even know that was a thing. Issue which cause your gun to reset despite having the. Nice! This is huge. Thank you. This has killed me so many times. Let's go, boys. They're going to make it where your gun resets to single fire mode. They fixed this issue. That's awesome. What this issue was, I don't know if you know, but if you had a gun in slot 1 that was on full auto and you drug another gun into slot 1, it would not apply the actual preset that you want. So if I had an AR, like let's say I had an AK-47 in slot 1 and I was picking up a UMP, I would pull my UMP and drop it into slot 1 instead of slot 2. It would automatically put that gun into single fire mode. It would not go ahead and load my pre-adjustment. So I'd pull my UMP out, reload it, not thinking, go to fight somebody, and I'd left click, and it would just shoot one bullet. Switch to normally, UI displays. I think a lot of this stuff is, which caused heavy FPS, right? What I'm saying. A lot of this stuff, boys, ends up just being a little bit of stuff just to help out. But man, as far as we go, just looking through this initially, I'm super pumped about this patch. There's a lot of changes on here that I think are going to be a little interesting to test in. Obviously, I think the M16 is going to be a huge test we're going to want to look at. I'm interested to see how this damage goes with the DMRs and the SRs tagging people. Did that change the damage change? Does that change for game balance, hit area from SRs? Okay, so yeah, so SKSs aren't even getting that big of it. So yeah, I don't mind this at all. It brings up the point for why you would bring a Kar 98 and M24 now in squads over a SKS or even as much as an SLR. I mean, we all knew that DMRs were by far 10 times above bolt action sniper rifles were inside squad games. So yeah, boys, great patch here. I can't wait to test it. If you guys want to come in, have any comments about this, make sure you leave them in the content section below. We'll go over that. We'll talk about it. If you guys want to test this patch out with us, we'll be playing this probably solely on the test server now until this goes live. But you guys come check us out, boys. We'll be live on Twitch, and we'll also have some more content. And again, catch us back here on Game Film Friday this week, boys. We'll see y'all then. As always, stay gaming, boys. Peace!